Hi students, now we are going to study about the acquired immunity. Acquired immunity is classified into natural acquired immunity and artificial acquired immunity. Under natural acquired immunity, when natural acquired immunity occurs, let us see that. Active immunity. Natural acquired immunity is of two types known as natural active immunity and natural passive immunity. Natural active immunity, when natural active immunity occurs, let's see what is the condition for that. So sometimes we will be susceptible to some diseases, infectious disease. Some virus or a bacteria may cause some disease to us. Then the body is susceptible to the disease. After sometimes the body get recovery. That is, it takes time. First it is a it infect our body, and after sometimes our body produces antibodies. The antibodies fight with the antigen and body recover from the disease. When once naturally the body is recovered from the disease, these are recovered antibodies, that's because of the production of antibodies. This kind of it is species specific, so these kind of particular antibody produced against the particular antigen, these cells, that is this cells formation will be stored in the memory cells. So these cells, this particular antigen, its protein, its components will be noticed by the antibody, and all such things will be stored in our memory. So this is first we will get the disease, and the antibody will be produced in our body against the antigen. Body is recovered, and after recovery, the information about the particular antigen will be stored, and the specific antibody produced in our body will be stored. That information will be stored in the memory cells. Then next, the second time if the antigen enters in our body, before the body is susceptible to the disease, immediately the same antibodies will be produced in a massive scale. Massive production of such antibodies will be produced, because they know, our body immune system know that this is the particular antigen, because already it is susceptible to that, and that antibodies are produced. So that antibodies are produced in the second time infection, that antibodies are produced in a massive scale, and they come and attack the antigens and make the body free from that disease. This is most effective. The natural acquired immunity is most effective. The second one is natural passive immunity. Natural passive immunity, the body is not producing. That is, the small babies, they get the immunity from the mother through the placenta. They get the immunity from the mother through the placenta. The mother is getting the antibody to a particular disease, and through the placenta these antibodies are entering inside the body of the baby, but it is not permanent, it is just a temporary. Till the baby, its immune system itself is developing and come to the matured state, till then this temporary antibodies will work in its body, and after that the baby's body itself will produce the immunity. So it is temporary. So mother to baby, passive is natural passive immunity. Babies gets that immunity from the mother through the placenta. Example, tetanus. Tetanus, temporary protection against infection, remains till the own system function. Own system means till the baby's own immune system function, this kind of natural passive immunity will work. After that it will not work, because it is temporary. Colostrum. What is colostrum? That is the initial secretion of mammary glands. The initial secretion of mammary glands have lot of WBCs, lot of antibodies. These antibodies, if you feed that colostrum to the newborn babies, then newborn babies will get antibodies. Till its immune system develops this antibodies, mother's antibody will help that baby to create immunity to defend against the diseases. So this is passive because it is produced in the mother, and the baby's body is the secondary one, not the primary one. So it is a passive one. Then next one is artificial acquired immunity. What is artificial acquired immunity? Artificial acquired immunity, the host immune system courses of lifetime by artificial means. The host body is getting the immunity during the lifetime. During the lifetime it is getting the immunity, that is called artificial acquired immunity. The artificial acquired immunity is further classified into artificial active immunity and artificial passive immunity. Artificial active immunity and artificial passive immunity. The first one is artificial active immunity by vaccines, by giving vaccine. Artificial active is by giving vaccine. What are vaccines? Vaccines are dead or weakened germs introduced in the body of the organism to create immunity. The germ itself is weakened or it is killed and it is introduced in the body of the organism, so that the body recognize that as even it is a weakened one or a dead one, the body's immune system recognize the protein coat of the organism, and it considered that as an antigen and started producing antibodies. That is what is called artificial active immunity. The antibodies are produced, and second booster, first booster they will give and it will kill that. Second booster also they are giving, so that it strengthen the immune system. Example, toxoids. It is the different types of artificial active immunity are giving toxoids, killed organisms and attenuated organisms. What are toxoids? Toxoids are the chemicals which are produced by this infectious agents are collected and it is injected in the body of the organism. For example, the tetanus and diphtheria stimulate antibody production without producing symptoms. When they are giving toxoids, when they give the vaccines, the body will sometimes it is infectious and after that gradually it creates the immunity. Toxoids, it's not showing any stimulus of not showing any symptoms of the disease. Example, tetanus and diphtheria, they are giving toxoids and stimulate these chemicals which stimulate the antibody production without producing symptoms of the disease. Then kill the organism. Here this is a type of vaccine. Actually they will kill the organism and only the body is injected. Kill the organism and the body is injected. Dead virus or bacteria is injected. So the body is our body's immune system recognize the protein coat and it produce the antibodies against that. Then attenuated organism. What are attenuated organisms? Modified living organism. The organisms are modified, little bit it is modified and it is injected inside the body. Modified living organisms injected in the body with producing the diseases. It produces the disease and by that way the immunity is created. In attenuated organisms, how they are producing attenuated organism? By giving they are kept in high temperature or specific chemical is used to weaken the organism. The pathogen effect is weakened so that it is modified. The organism's pathogenic effect is reduced. How they are reducing? By introducing the organism in a high temperature or using certain chemicals, its activity is reduced. Then they actually weakened. The organism is weakened and it is injected inside the body of the organism. Toxoid, the chemicals are secreted, extracted from that and the chemicals are injected. Kill the organisms and they will kill the bacteria or virus and they inject and create immunity. Attenuated, modified, they weaken the virulence of the organism and then they injected the organism inside the body and the body is made to create immunity. How they are modifying? By introducing the organism in high temperature or by using certain chemicals. For example, tuberculosis, measles, rubella, poliomyelitis. These and all them attenuated organisms are used. Tuberculosis, rubella, poliomyelitis and measles, these and all attenuated organisms. Then artificial passive immunity. The artificial passive immunity, that is a artificial passive immunity, that is a two organisms are there, that is a immunize an organism. Actually, a particular organism is immunized. Which organism is immunized? From that immunized organisms, the antibodies are extracted and the antibodies are given to the next other organisms. Actually, antibodies are produced in artificial passive immunity. Antibodies are produced in one organism. From that organisms, it is extracted. Antibodies are extracted and as a serum, and extracted antibodies are injected in the body of the other organism. So it is secondary. That's why it is passive. It is secondary. That's why it is a passive. For example, this is an immunized an organism. Antibodies are extracted and injected to the next other organism. It may not, the organism may not be belonging to this species. For example, tetanus and diphtheria. The same tetanus and diphtheria. These diphtheria. These antibodies are made to produce in horse. And the antibody, that is immunization is given to the horse is producing immunity. Then the antibodies are collected and it is injected into the human body, that is artificial passive immunity. So these are the different types of immunity. Children, you learn this and take notes and different types and their examples you must know. Thank you.